Hi there, Terrain owners. Today in your 2016 GMC Terrain, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install etrailer.com's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. And this is what our hitch looks like when it's installed. The cross tube is going to be mostly hidden behind our bumper here, so you're really only going to notice the receiver here at the back. Another thing you will notice is that there is a panel here that is installed on your Terrain that does have to be removed, and it stays off when your hitch is installed. It's a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver, so it's going to be great for all of your towing needs, whether you're going to put a bike rack in the back and load it up with 4 bikes, or bring a camper with you to the campsite for a weekend. It uses a 5/8" hitch pin and clip. Now, one doesn't come included with the hitch, but you can pick one up here at etrailer.com. On the bottom, we have plate-style safety chain loops, and it has a moderate size opening that should accommodate most of your safety chains. It features a 350-pound tongue weight, which is the force going down on top of the receiver. And this is enough for you to have a bike rack loaded up fully with 4 bikes. It also features a 3,500-pound gross towing capacity, which is how much it can pull behind it. And that'll be enough for a pop-up camper so you can bring one with you to the lake for the weekend. You can use a weight distribution system with this hitch, and when you do, it does increase our tongue weight up to 400 pounds, and it also increases our gross towing capacity to 4,000 pounds. A weight distribution system will take the load on your trailer behind you, and it will help reposition it using a series of chains and wedges to angle it, and it will put pressure on the front axle instead of the rear here to level your vehicle back out. This helps restore lost braking and handling performances that you get when you lower down the back end. And you want to remember, as always, you should check your vehicle's owner's manual and ensure you don't exceed any of its towing capacities. Now I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of our hitch pin hole to the edge of our rear bumper, it measures about 3.5 inches. And this is important when determining if any of your folding accessories can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of our receiver tube, it measures about 15.5 inches. And this is important when determining if you need to drop, a rise, or a raise shank on any of your accessories. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's go over the installation together so you can have the confidence to do it at home. We'll begin our installation at the back of the vehicle on the bottom of our fascia. You'll have a small panel here that is removable. This will have to come off and is going to stay off. This just pulls down to release it from the tabs, and then we'll set it aside. There are weld nuts located on the side of the frame on each side. This is where we're going to be attaching our hitch to. The weld nuts likely are corroded up, so you can use a bristled brush like this and some spray lubricant to clean those out. We're going to do this for the weld nuts on this side of the frame and on the opposite side of the frame. Then we're going to come to the center of the vehicle at the back, and we'll have 2 attachment points that are going to go here. You may or may not have weld nuts in this location. If you do, you'll want to clean those out. If not, then you can just ignore this until the step later where we feed our hardware in. We'll now prepare our hardware. Take the hex head bolts that come in your kit and place conical tooth washers on them with the teeth facing away from the head of the bolt. You'll need at least 4 of these for the side bolts, 2 on each side. And now with an extra set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch into position, line up the holes in your hitch with the weld nuts in your frame, and then take your bolts and thread them right in. Once you've got one bolt started on each side, the hitch will hold itself up, making it easier to install the rest of your hardware. We can then come to the center of our hitch, and there's 2 holes that you can either use the hex head bolts to thread into the weld nuts into the frame, located above there, or if your vehicle's like ours here, where we don't have those weld nuts, because it depends on the options on your vehicle, whether you do or you don't, then you'll need to fish wire in carriage bolts. So since we don't have them, we're going to poke our fish wire in, and then we're going to send it down all the way to the end of the frame where it comes out. And then over here on the end, we're going to take our carriage bolt, we're going to put our spacer on it, and then we need to thread the carriage bolt onto our fish wire. And then back here at the end, we can pull our fish wire until it comes all the way back down and our bolt drops down below. Once you've got that drop down, you can take your fish wire off, and we're going to unthread it from the bolt because we need to reuse this fish wire for the other side. So you want to try not to damage it. And then carefully thread your flange nut onto your bolt, trying to make sure we don't push the bolt back up into the frame. I like to keep a little bit of pressure with one hand on the side of the bolt so I don't do so. And then I just thread it on. Once you got it started, we can repeat the same procedure on the opposite side of our receiver tube here in this hole. We can now go back and tighten down all of our hardware. We're going to use a 19mm socket. And then we can go back and torque all of our hardware to the specifications found in our instructions. And that completes our installation of etrailer.com's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2016 GMC Terrain.